What's going on, Paisanos? V here, coming at you, well, with another market watch. I've been kind of busy today. It's been a crazy past 24 hours for me running around with work. So I haven't had a chance to really sit here and put a whole market watch together up until about 15 minutes ago. So this is about 15 minutes of the market and what I want to talk about, and what I think is really important for everyone to understand happening this weekend and for the foreseeable future. So looking at Magnificent Mavens, obviously the price is already out on pre-sale. And they're insanely expensive. We knew this was going to happen. But here's the thing. Here's the good note about this. They're insanely expensive, but not for a pre-sale. Meaning that cards like YuGiOh, the Ancient Sentinel, Kelbic, Mudora, Keld, all these cards, the cards you want, the Shizu cards, they're a lot of money, but they're only a lot of money for ultra rares. Meaning the fact that a majority of these are going to be going down. With that said, don't be surprised you see one or two of these actually start rising up. What I'm trying to say is, these pre-sales are relatively expensive right now, but I'm guessing at least one of these cards, if not two of these cards, might actually not go back down. Whereas the other two, they will go down heavily. So keep an eye on that. I do think Magnificent Mavens is going to be a great set. I also think the prices of the majority of these cards are overpriced, besides the cards that majority of Yu-Gi-Oh players are going to want, which is obviously going to be the Shizu cards. Cards like Lightning Storm, Evenly Match, Linkage down. I mean, these cards are going to be going down in value. Even though Strikers is really good, will they see play here in the TCG? Probably, but probably not. One of the biggest things Sky Strikers and a lot of decks needed was Mystic Mine. Whereas the Tier 1 decks, they kind of found their footing as far as playing around Mystic Mine. And the second that was done, where tiers and where sprites finally realized, oh, this is how we beat Mystic Mine, Mystic Mine decks were in a lot of trouble. And those decks, I'm not saying Strikers is a Mystic Mine deck, but it does utilize it and can do it heavily if it wanted to. Those decks now have to change their entire strategy. I'm not saying get rid of Mystic Mine, but I am saying if you are building a deck like Sky Striker, especially with a new card, Sky Striker Mobilized Linkage, this card is insane. This card's so good. If you are looking to build this deck, no big deal. Just make sure that you're not hugging Mystic Mine's dick, because a team player, a sprite player, will break that board and kill you in that turn. So you gotta be a lot smarter to what's happening here. A lot of other cards are still really good. Obviously, once again, these prices are insanely expensive. I do like an Ultra Rare Imperm for $10. Yes, thank you very much. That is a very good price for it. As well as Skill Drain, Appaloosa. But once again, everything is going down, which is great news for everybody who wants to get a lot of these great reprints. Alright, so if you follow me, well, not even you follow me, but if you go on the Yu-Gi-Oh Market Watch Facebook page, I actually posted about Book of Eclipse a couple of days ago. I actually talked about and pointed at Book of Eclipse with Astro Pack 8. And look at this market, going from $1 all the way as high as $11. At the time, I believe it was $8, if I'm not mistaken. Now it's $11. And I remember pointing and going, hey, listen, this is only one of two cards that you're going to be needing to get. Now, you don't need to get the super rare Astro Pack 8. It's up to you if you want to get it. I personally like Starfoil. But the Dual Deficit has an ultra rare for 10 cents. So you can get that if you wanted to. Tactical Master is a rare. So, I mean, this card is relatively easy to get, is what I'm trying to say. The other card is a little bit different. So, once again, Book of Eclipse is a card you're going to want to use, obviously, if you're playing against Telements, because Telements is going to have that Fafnir card. It's going to have all these goofy cards that, obviously, you can take advantage of by using Book of Eclipse. Your opponent has a huge board. Cool. Put it all face down. Because not a lot of you players are playing multiple negations, because Telements can't easily do it. They tried to by trying to bring out a Baron de Fleur, but not every Telement deck can bring up Baron de Fleur. You saw, look at the past YCS. Majority of these players were just shotgunning a board, and that gets broken, they'll do another one. So they're not really they don't have time for a lot of actual like Omni negates. More in fact, I would say like spot negates, like a monster negate. When you're looking at the Predator player monster. So that's really important when you look at a card like Book of Eclipse, and that's how you combat that deck, by the way. Another cool way, which I teased, and I said it's a normal spell, I'm not lying, is Mind Control. Mind Control is such a good normal spell. It's kind of crazy the fact that nobody realized this. In the OC, they're citing 3 of these. Why? Because in game 2 or 3, if you go second, your opponent is going to make their board. If you don't have a Book of Eclipse, another great card is Mind Control. Imagine taking your opponent's Fafnir, or imagine taking your opponent's Predator monster, Dragosapelia, and then just bring it on your side of board, creating your board. Then when your opponent tries to proc Fafnir, you go, cool, let me use your Dragosapelia, blank your Fafnir out. Good job. Okay, continuing on my board, and then linking away your monster, and dead. That's basically what Mind Control does. They have access to the same amount of cards we do, I would obviously more, and of course the advance is different, but Mind Control is a really good card that a lot of YuGiOh players just kind of forgot about. But in the OCG, they didn't. They were using this card just as much as using Book of Eclipse. I think they're both excellent cards, and they do the same thing. They want to stop your opponent from their board, creating their board, or after they create the board, they want to shut that down, create my board, and then go ahead and end the game. And especially when we don't have cards like Nibiru floating around anymore, yeah, Mind Control's a really good card. Book Eclipse, really good card. If I could shut your board down with one card, shut your board down, and then go on to make my board, and I know you don't have Nibiru, because let's be honest with you, the new Tiamat monster literally says Nibiru can't do nothing to me. Yeah, I'm gonna do it every single day of the week, and Mind Control is that tech card. Book of Eclipse is that tech card. Once again, if you want to talk about which Mind Control, it's up to you. You have the Gold Series, 2009. I remember this one's old as hell, but it looks alright. Legend Collection Ultra Red Yu-Gi-Oh! As well as 44 cents. I personally like, it's between, I mean, the Dual 7 say Ultra Rare looks actually really clean, but if you want to go for like the best version, I would say the World Championship 2005 7 Trials of Glory version. This price has been tanking, once again, because nobody knows about this. It's been tanking, and the current price point of this card is going to be roughly, I believe it was $4? Yeah, $4 to $5 for this card. For the 2005 card, okay? 17-year-old version of Mind Control. Right over there, dirt cheap. So this is a great card. Once again, the OCG sizes at 3 in every single one of their decks. Every single one of the decks, this is at 3 of. Just like Book of Eclipse is also seeing a lot of play in the OCG. I'm just giving you a heads up before these prices get really insanely expensive. Before players say, I'm using the goo. I can't show my deck at a locals because it's the goo. And then they go on to like a YCS or region and they go, it was Mind Control. It was all Mind Control. Yeah, I'm just going to show you. I don't give a fuck. So there's that. This is a card you're going to be seeing a lot of soon. So go ahead and buy yours. All right. Let's talk about Chaos Hunter, because this card is seeing a little bit of side deck play in the OCG, and I do think here in the TCG, it's slowly might start seeing more play. Once again, with the Shizus being so prevalent, one of the best cards to stop them, Chaos Hunter. With Bestials or Bestials being so prevalent, one of the best cards to stop them, Chaos Hunter. Chaos Hunter is a really cool card at punishing your opponent. It punishing your opponent playing the game. That's my favorite kind of Yu-Gi-Oh card. You're playing a game normally and you deck build and spend hours? Cool. This one card punches you for trying to be good at the game. How dare you? Did I catch you being good at the game? Says Chaos Hunter. Obviously, this card's a bunch of rarities as well as the Ultra Rare Magnificent Mavens. $7, it's gonna go down in value. I mean, market price was before, it's up to 7. I think it'll go down in value. I could be wrong, evidently, but I don't know. I don't like $7 for that ultra rare. I don't know. It's not gonna be short printed. I don't think so. Konami has a lot of other cards to really get us on. But if you want a first edition version of Chaos Hunter, out of its original print set, Storm of Ragnarok, this card's going for roughly around $45. So keep an eye out for it. And then we have Barlow Dragon. Now, once again, I always go back to the OCG, because I always like the mentality. It doesn't always translate over here in TCG. Some cards will see play, some cards won't see play. That's just a fact of the matter. But Barlow Dragon is so dirt cheap. Do you own one? I'll be honest with you. Dual Power Ultra Art Ultra Rare looks really nice. Look at that. How gorgeous is that? I own that one as well as the original print version. I had Circuit Break as well as the Mega 10, but I had that one by accident. Look at the... Really? Look at the chart. What chart in what game can do that other than Yu-Gi-Oh? Like, Yu-Gi-Oh's charts are insane. Yu-Gi-Oh players will buy things like crazy and go, what was I doing last night? I was hyped up on Hopium. This card's roughly around $8 right now on TCG Player. Once again, if you want, no big deal. If you want to spend a cheaper version, there's cheaper versions out there, this card. But it's definitely one you might want to consider picking up. It's a relatively inexpensive card. And, yeah, pretty cool. All right. Prankotops is a card you're going to need as a one-up, no matter what deck you're playing. I know we're talking a lot about Telements, but if you're playing Sprites, if you're playing Sky Strikers, whatever you're playing, Prankotops is the card. Or Prankotops, there's no R in it, even though it should be because of the... Anyway. Okay, so you can get any version of this card. It has an Ultra Rare 20 cents, a Rare 12 cents, Secret Rare versions of Prankotops, which I have a lot of. Let me know, do you guys have a lot of this card? I have like 4 or 5 of these. I got to really get rid of these cards. The Secret version of this card is roughly around $4 for Prankotops, okay? Now, if you want the CR, which has slowly been rising in value, originally it was roughly around $100, I believe. And look at it, even the past month, it's rising. I didn't even have to like double check this. I know. The current price point of this card is roughly around $130, unless you want to get a German one or this guy who has 3 sales. Trust me, bro. It'll get to you. This card is $130 for, once again, Prankotops. And it's a card that's going to be needed at 1, staple. It's going to be in your side deck. Your side deck is now 14 guards plus Prankatops. Or Prankatops, you're going to be an asshole. Like, this is the card you're going to want to go ahead and get. Then we have Kaijus. Now, I don't know if this is going to be legitimate, but the Yu-Gi-Oh! OCG is so... They're so insane with, like, field destruction cards. This might be a contender. Do you have one of each Kaiju? If you don't, you're probably not alone, because I don't know how Yu-Gi-Oh! Players care about these anymore, but maybe you might start wanting to do so. And they're out the Kaiju Summon, by the way, out of Bowser Legends Heroes Revenge, which used to be like $10. The cigarette is roughly around $2. The rest of the Kaijus have been reprinted to hell, so they're relatively indispensable no matter what. And it's something that you're going to want to focus on, because you might need. I mean, Darkwing Blast prices have been going down, and I'll be honest with you, Rukulosu was $20 a week ago. She's now $10. You want to see another magic trick? She's going to be $4. That's what I don't even own the card yet. I got to buy this card. I have the whole deck right over there, minus Rukulos. I need to get this card at $4. $4 to $6, I don't really care. I mean, even 10's kind of dirty. I should buy it right now and stop being lazy. But yeah, no, nevertheless, Rukulos is a great card as a one-of, which is obviously why the price is going to be going down in value. Kashira Fenrir is a phenomenal card. I mean, this card's excellent. It's a needed card. But, once again, once the player base shifts mentality to playing cards like Book of Eclipse, playing cards like Mind Control, Fenrir is your worst enemy as your asset. It is the worst thing to have that you have on your side of board for your opponent to abuse. Now, I'm not saying don't get this card. I'm not trying to give you a free pass on, well, thanks, V. I don't want to spend $150. Sorry, I'm not sure what game you're playing, but in Yu-Gi-Oh!, you get wrecked in your wallet. You're eventually going to have to buy Kashira Fenrir. What I'm trying to say is, it's not the only build of T-Elements. It's not. No. T-Elements are using a small buy-steal package in their decks as well. And the reason why is because that buy-steal package is still really good against the mirror match, for the most part. Really good. I mean, insanely good. Over the top good. Well, against sprites, which is going to be a huge issue for you. Also, a little fun fact, sorry, Sky Struggle players, really good against you as well. Hit those rays for days. Looking over here, I think these cards are excellent, and obviously, you're going to want to really focus on buy steals before you focus on Fenrir. But nevertheless, you're still going to have to get both, more than likely. But focus on something that's going to be relatively inexpensive. Pistol Magnamut. Magnamut is roughly around $10. It's still really expensive. It should be going down in value, but we don't know if it's going to be or not. We don't know if it's short print or not. And will Konami really short print a super rare? Probably not, but Yu-Gi-Oh! Players think it's going to happen, so the market reacts to it as it's happening. 87 listings, by the way. This is really interesting. Before else I begin, I just want to say, hey, listen, I want you to check out my website, YuGiOhPaisano.com. I have all the field centers, all the tokens, including this gorgeous sideways Sky Striker field center. I don't know if anyone's doing sideways field centers, but they look infinitely better. And you know when you get field center, you gotta put like normal, and it touches your opponents, it touches your docks with your opponents like playmat, and you're like, this is awkward. Yeah, sideways field centers don't do that. Why don't we just have this, Konami? Like, why don't, seriously, like just sideways field centers, they look better. They look more fun. And once again, you don't have to touch your opponent's playmat. Let's be honest with you. Some of these playmats are throwing a backpack with everything, just filth in that backpack. For some players, not all players. That's why Konami made it implement a rule. If you're stinky, you get the fuck out of Yu-Gi-Oh! Locals. Alright, going back into it, Konami, I'm not done yet talking about, by the way. I know I talked about, like, Kaijus. I kind of left you hanging. No, I'm back in. Listen, Rageki's being used in the OCG. Dark Hole's being used in the OCG. Over cards like Lightning Storm, and which, I mean, they're throwing in like 2 Lightning Storm and 2 Raigeki. 2 Lightning Storm, 2 Dark Hole. Is it, are we going to have that conversation about Raigeki and Dark Hole right now? Do we have it? Or should we just wait on it? I personally like Ultimate Rare Raigekis. Some like Retro Pack, I understand why. If you're old enough Yu-Gi-Oh! Play, you'll know why Retro Pack 1 Raigeki's insane. As well as Original Print Raigeki First Edition. It's really up to you which version you want. They're all insanely expensive. Dark Hole, it doesn't really matter besides the Original Print Dark Holes, which obviously are really expensive. Where's the Original Print Super Rares? Destiny Soldiers, what the fuck? Give me 1 second. I want to find the Super Rares. I can't find it. It's around here somewhere. I'm already bored of looking at it. Original Super Rare Dark Holes are obviously going to be good. Turbo Pack 4 are supposed to be good money. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. To be honest with you, I'm not really a fan of this card. I kind of like Raigeki more. I kind of like Lightning Storm more. In fact, Lightning Storm is a really interesting card because if you look at Lightning Storm from the Solid Rare at Initial Assault, the past 3 months, this card went from 300, and right now it's roughly around 323. not a bad price point. In fact, you can see it over here, the price going down, but I mean, it's showing the opposite. So she play can fix your charts. Nevertheless, I think Lightning Storm is a great card. I think the Starlights at one point was roughly around 278, 276, I think. That's when I got my last 2 Starlight rares of this card. I think that Lightning Storm is going to be a very expensive Starlight rare. I've been saying it forever. The price is going to slowly start increasing. Once it's cheap for everyone to get, doesn't mean the Starlight rares go down in value. It only goes down temporarily because it's relatively cheap as a reprint. It almost reminds you like Stardust Dragon. Stardust Dragon had been reprinted to crap so badly that the Ghost Rare First Edition Stardust Dragon was $75. That's how much I paid for mine. $75. And what happened? Well, Konami's like, well, we're done with Stardust Dragon. Let's move on. What happened to Stardust Dragon Ghost Rare? It obviously went up in value, despite the fact it has so many printings. We could also look at this and possibly apply this to Utopia, but that's really hazy territory. But more importantly, to other hard-to-get cards like Lightning Storm, where yes, it's getting a reprint, and recently Magnus and Mavens, and yes, that might hurt the price point in the short term, but in the long term, the best version of the card that is known to be one of the best versions of itself, and I think Lightning Storm we could safely say is a really, really good card. Yeah, I do think this is going to have high value in the future, so keep an eye on it. Then we have Battles of Legends Crystal of Revenge. Now, I don't know much about this set, about the reprints, but I'd love to know what you think about this in the comment section down below. Is it worth it? Is it good? Are you getting it? Do you care about it? Or is it pretty much a nice set with some cards, nothing really too crazy? Don't get me wrong, I like Crystal Beast, but is it worth going in and buying this set for Crystal Beast or just sniping the singles? Well, you already know my answer. Anyway, Paisanos, I really appreciate you guys watching my videos. Make sure to like button, subscribe button, comment down below. It's your boy V, and you Paisanos have a great day.